One of the things I was gratified to see, we've got the audio sound bites coming, the president really seemed open to the idea of having concealed carry personnel inside the schools. And it was raised, the idea was raised by a parent who admitted he knew that his suggestion was going to cause quite a lot of controversy. But he made some very interesting points that we're going to repeat here. Because I made the point last week that this is something we haven't tried, that we can experiment with, see if it works in some states, in some schools. We have 50 states and a bunch of different school districts here to experiment with. We haven't tried it. We should. We do it in practically every other public venue except schools. Why not schools? Now, about this concealed carry business, I want to go back to me on this program last Thursday in the midst of the heat and passion in the aftermath.
Right now, there isn't anybody armed at all in these schools except the perps. And the schools themselves are no shoot zones, no gun zones. And the perps all know this. They're sophisticated enough to know this. So if you allowed each state to run its schools, or even you want to get more local than that, allow the school districts to run themselves as they wish. Give this sheriff the power to go grab these troublemakers before they make trouble. See if it works. Find out if it doesn't work. None of that is happening now. In some places, some states might allow teachers to have concealed carry permits. That's not the case now. But my point is a whole lot of experimentation, starting long ago, could have been underway by now. After acts of terrorism affecting air travel, what do? We put air marshals on the flights. They're there. They're on many flags, you know what, and they're armed. Anybody thought of the idea of school marshals? How about cameras that link to the internet for public viewing? Oh, it's a violation of civil rights, yeah. How about arming teachers? Oh, no, the teachers might be nuts. The teachers might launch. The teachers might go crazy with some stupid kid smarting off. We can't do that.
It was learned today, by the way, there are cameras inside the school, but do you know what? They were on a 20-minute delay. Now, I didn't hear the reason for them being on a 20-minute delay, but law enforcement, looking at what they thought was live video from the school, were 20 minutes behind reality. They were 20 minutes behind real time. But this idea is catching on now, the idea of concealed carry. Maybe the term scares people away, but all it means is you have professionally licensed and trained security people inside the schools, and nobody knows who they are. And they have access to weapons. Should something happen, people have now begun to calculate the response time. It takes EMS, SWAT teams, an average of 5 minutes to show up. 5 minutes. This event lasted 3. This event was over by the time outside law enforcement showed up. A football coach died shielding students. He took the bullets. Imagine if he had had access to a weapon to shut it down. And people are starting now to make sense of this. And they're making comparisons, like I did with air marshals. And I made the comparison, we arm every public entity. We have security, armed professional security, every public entity, including airports, including malls, including stadiums, everywhere except in the schools, everywhere except the schools. Despite all of the school shootings there have been, despite all the mass murder, not one step has been taken to actually stop it. Not a step has been taken to actually prevent it. Since Columbine, there hasn't been anything done to prevent this. Since Columbine, we've had one answer. Damn that NRA. Damn politicians that accept money from the NRA. Damn those guns. That's been it. That's the sum total. Here is the father who was at the White House listening session yesterday afternoon. His name is Andrew Pollack. He spoke about his 17-year-old daughter, Meadow, who was killed in the Parkland shooting.
We protect airports, We protect concerts, stadiums, embassies, the Department of Education that I walked in today that has a security guard in the elevator. How do you think that makes me feel? In the elevator, they got a security guard. I'm very angry that this happened because it keeps happening. 9/11 happened once and they fixed everything. How many schools, how many children have to get shot? It stops here with this administration and me. I'm not going to sleep until it's fixed. And Mr. President, we're going to fix it.
And I'm telling you, the left and the media watching this had to be fit to be tied. Here's a guy who wants to work with the president to fix this. And you know what? It is going to get fixed with this president. And the Democrats are going to be up such a creek, and they can't even see it yet. The Democrats are going to be running against things that are so out of touch with average, ordinary Americans. We could be looking at a Democrat Party bloodbath by the time we get to November, because this is going to get fixed, like taxes got fixed. The military is in the process of being rebuilt. That's going to get fixed. We are going to fix things to do with Obamacare. You may not like the way Donald Trump talks and speaks. You may not like the fact that Donald Trump tweets, and you may not like the way Donald Trump walks, and you may not like this or that about Donald Trump and his behaviorisms and his manner and so forth. But if you ignore that and take a look at what Donald Trump, the president, is accomplishing and what he's doing, when he was on the campaign trail, he said, we're going to make America great again. And as often, he said, we're going to make America safe again. It was in context largely to do with illegal immigration. But they're going to fix this. Trump is going to get this fixed. Trump is not like your average Washington politician who thinks talking about it is fixing it, who thinks talking about it proves compassion, who thinks talking about it makes a connection with people, and all you have to do is show them you care and you've won them over. Yeah, you get the sense this one is different. But it's not because the students are acting the way they're acting. That's not why this is different. This is different because people have realized that there hasn't been one thing done to stop these things from happening, and there hasn't been one preventative measure taken. We may have changed background checks here and there, and we may have fiddled around the margins and the edges with gun regulation, but we haven't taken a serious step to stop these when they start. We haven't taken a serious step to prevent these, and we're not doing it now. If it was left up to CNN and the media and the Democrat Party, nothing is going to change. But Trump is going to fix this. And he's going to fix it with the support of parents all over the country. One more little bite here from the parent, Andrew Pollack, again, a parent who lost his daughter in the Parkland shooting.
And I'm pissed because my daughter I'm not going to see again. She's not here. And it stops. We all work together and come up with the right idea, and it's school safety. It's not about gun laws right now. That's another fight, another battle. Let's fix the schools, and then you guys can battle it out whatever you want. But we need our children safe.
Right.